When Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time hit theaters in 2010, it was met with lukewarm reviews and moderate box office returns. Critics dismissed it as another forgettable video game adaptation, and audiences largely moved on. Yet, in the decade and a half since its release, the film has quietly gained a cult appreciation. Upon closer examination, Prince of Persia reveals itself to be a surprisingly strong adventure film, one that blends classic action storytelling, charismatic performances, and richly crafted world building. Far from being a failure, it stands as one of the better attempts at translating a video game world into cinema. One of the strongest aspects of Prince of Persia lies in its immersive world building. From the bustling streets of Nassau to the golden deserts and lavish palaces, the film brings the game's Persian-inspired setting to life with a tangible sense of scale and beauty. The production design, paired with John Seale's cinematography, captures a vibrant yet lived-in world that feels authentic rather than a CGI backdrop. The costume work and set design are meticulous, grounding the fantastical time-bending narrative in a world that feels believable. While many video game adaptations struggle to replicate their source material, Prince of Persia translates the essence of the game's environment, parkour-inspired movement, and sense of mystical wonder directly into cinematic form. Casting Jake Gyllenhaal as Prince Dastan was controversial at the time, but his performance remains one of the movie's strengths. Gyllenhaal brings a roguish charm and physical commitment that feels reminiscent of Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones, or Brendan Fraser's Rick O'Connell in The Mummy. His athleticism in the action sequences, including rooftop chases and fluid sword fights, sells the parkour-heavy style of combat from the games. Crucially, Dastan is written with a likable balance of wit, determination, and humility. He's not an untouchable hero. His mistakes and improvisation make him relatable. This humanized portrayal helps elevate the film beyond a generic Chosen One narrative. Prince of Persia follows a tried and true adventure structure that has been the foundation of beloved action films for decades. A reluctant hero is thrust into a conspiracy paired with a reluctant ally, the sharp-tongued Princess Tamina, played by Gemma Arterton, and must travel across exotic locations while racing against time, quite literally, to stop a cataclysmic event. This structure echoes classics like Indiana Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean. The pacing is tight with action beats interspersed with moments of banter, mystery, and romance. While some critics dismiss this as formulaic, it's precisely the classic rhythm that makes the movie enjoyable. It embraces its swashbuckling identity rather than trying to reinvent the genre. This film also benefits from a strong ensemble. Ben Kingsley brings a calculated menace as Nizam, a villain whose motivations are rooted in ambition rather than cartoonish evil. Alfred Molina's character steals scenes with comedic timing and quirky obsession with ostrich racing, providing levity without undermining the stakes. These supporting performances alongside Arterton's fiery presence as Tamina flesh out the world and elevate the central narrative. The chemistry between Dastan and Tamina, with its playful back and forth, provide a romantic tension that complements the action. One of the greatest challenges in adapting video games lies in translating their unique mechanics to screen. Prince of Persia cleverly integrates the Dagger of Time and its ability to rewind moments without bogging down the pacing. The dagger's use is limited and is always tied to key moments, preventing the story from collapsing under its own fantasy logic. This mechanic isn't just a gimmick, it serves as a metaphor for second chances, regret, and the idea of correcting mistakes, themes that are woven into Dastan's arc. It also allows for inventive set pieces where time manipulation enhances rather than replaces physical stunt work. Released during a period where video game adaptations had a poor reputation, critics approached the film with skepticism. Additionally, Prince of Persia was marketed as a summer blockbuster, inviting comparisons to Pirates of the Caribbean and The Lord of the Rings. When it didn't revolutionize the genre, many dismissed it outright rather than appreciating its strengths as a fun, well-crafted adventure. In hindsight, Prince of Persia holds up better than many of its contemporaries. It doesn't rely on overabundance of CGI, nor does it drown in excessive lore. Instead, it delivers a straightforward adventure with clear stakes, practical stunt work, and charismatic leads, qualities increasingly rare in blockbuster filmmaking. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time may never be hailed as a masterpiece, but it's far more than the forgettable misfire it was once labeled. With its charismatic performance, lush production design, classic adventure storytelling, and clever integration of its game mechanics, it stands as one of the more competent and entertaining video game adaptations to date. In an era dominated by overly self-aware or excessively grim blockbusters, Prince of Persia remains a refreshing reminder of the pure joy, swashbuckling adventure. Over a decade later, it deserves a second look, and perhaps even the appreciation it was denied upon release, and perhaps even a sequel.